Okay, so what are my predictions and how do I see this apocalypse coming? I have outlined my fears in the previous video, but I want to now dwell on my predictions in this way. To start with, if you look carefully and study the makeup of the Middle East in August of 2014, this very month, there are just simply too many symbols and too many indications of this apocalypse to come. It's hard to miss them. And I'm afraid that whether the Western world interferes or not, this apocalypse cannot be avoided. I know that's hard to say, but that is perhaps my despair speaking. In the next 6 or 7 videos, I will explain these predictions. Let me start in this video with my first prediction, one that deals with Islam itself. But to start with, Islam and Islamists will continue to grow. I have no doubt about that. In fact, the fundamentalists are saying, look at the growth of Islam. It will eventually govern the world. This growth is a fact. But I believe that the world will disappear long before Islam governs the world, the whole world. And perhaps it's noteworthy to reflect on why is Islam increasing as such? Why is it growing? And in my opinion, the growth of Islam is due to a number of factors that, even though I will speak about them now, I don't think that they will arrest the growth, and in fact it may even accelerate the growth, these factors. Let me tell you what they are. Number one is ignorance of Islam for those who choose to be indoctrinated with it, and or the way that they are mesmerized by one facet of Islam without knowing the whole details of Islam. I won't dwell on that. But the second reason is this relentless campaign to spread Islam, which is funded by rich Middle Eastern countries with oil money that are deploying not the power of the sword like their ancestors did centuries ago, but the power of the dollar. And all you have to do is to look at the number of mosques that are being built all over the world, and even in the West, more specifically in the West, and you know that there is a relentless campaign and money, huge amount of money that are being spent to spread Islam. The third reason is the Muslims are actually methodically on a campaign to populate the world with offsprings. And I can't help but if you want to read the Australian case of an imam there, it's a telling story. They procreate to increase their numbers with a very specific goal in mind. And the Western world is actually helping them with this campaign because of the Western world's secular policies and liberal values. And once the Muslims are large enough in numbers, democracy, which I don't think they really even agree with, is used to give them power. Eventually, when they do have power, they will replace Sharia law for the laws of the West. And since they all believe God wills it that way, because it's clearly written in their Islamic text, they will proclaim it is the law of Allah and the will of Allah that Islam dominates the world, and that everybody must submit to the one true religion of Islam. That is the methodical campaign that I'm talking about. The fourth reason is the selective reading of Islam to candidates, because most Muslims do not even read Arabic and they are unable to understand what their religion is all about. Only selected parts of the text are explained to Muslims and they are passed on to them to create new faithful followers. And the fifth reason is because Islam actually preaches that if you fast and pray, you will go to Jannah or paradise. And the proportion of people who are atheists are much higher in other religions than are in Islam's. Muslims are much more unlikely to leave Islam and to become atheists than other religions. And there are reasons for that. Whether it's social pressures, upbringing, Islamic devotion practices, attachment to daily life and functions to religion, social interaction, gender role differentiations, all these are factors that will make it harder for Muslims to abandon their religion, much more likely that they will not abandon their religion in the same proportion as other people from other faiths. So that is the reason, and that is my first prediction, that Islam will grow for the reasons I've indicated, and it is really simply unstoppable. Let me stop at that for this first prediction.